Welcome, travelers! If you are new here, my name is Brenna. I am your officially forever DM, and welcome to Tales from the Catacombs. This is our tabletop RPG adventure that we are thrilled to share with you. This game uses the Dungeons&Dragons 5th edition system and rules, and the setting is a homebrew based on the rock album Razia's Shadow by Forgive Durden. We have a brief introduction to the setting that you can enjoy at your own leisure, and I hope you will, so you can be as immersed in the world as our players are. Without further ado, please enjoy this session of Razia's Shadow, a 1,000-year interlude. Let's recap. Session 27, Trusted Allies. The Novices stalled their retreat from Undra when an unforeseen group of peace watchmen arrived to investigate the disturbance. After a quiet hour of surveillance, the peace watchmen seemed satisfied and waited their companions' arrival. The Novices used their small window of opportunity to escape. On the ride, they discussed the consequences of what they discovered. Who were those traps intended for? Who set them? Why set them in a place like the hovel? And how did it connect to the last group known to be at the hovel, which consisted of the now deceased guard Ziva and the captain of the guard Elikina Sullen? Snow identified Ziva's bracelet pendant as a broken magical casing that housed magic like the one he recognized from the rubies in the cursed crown. The pendant also looked very much like the medallion that Beau pickpocketed off of the acolyte Jeremy in Saker's Keep. Captain Nora implored them not to investigate Elikina Sullen any further, but the subject of the conversation was too uncomfortable for her to continue. She thanked them and returned to the rally district. The Novices had a few items to handle before they tackled the new threads of the mystery at hand. Viola ran into her bunkmates, Winna, and a very uncomfortable Cynthia, but the conversation took a lively and cooperative turn. This let Viola drop hints to the ladies to keep an eye out for Ziva and Jeremy. In the men's barracks, Beau and Ste'yn had their own lively conversation that tested the depth of their trust in each other. When they reconnected with Snow, he was 3 shades to the wind in wild pike. But Viola had one more objective: to make friends with the polar bear she finally found. She learned he very well might be a druid, which piqued Beau's attention. They tracked the bear and his friend Chabodai to an indoor greenhouse to finally solve at least one of the mysteries in Grachi Minnow. So, right outside of this door, deeper inside of there's a word for it. I think it's called Novice Manor. Something Manor. I forgot to look up the name of it. But you guys have always known it as the Novice Hut, which was how it was first referred to you. In this door, or through this door, Beau was allowed through past the large form of Chabodai, this humanoid, incredibly muscular, looks like he's generally wearing like athletic wear, like he's prepared to work out, do something.
He's a gym bro.
You might think that. You might put that in it. The kind of notable feature too is that his skin tone, it seems to be like a pinkish undertone, but there's also a tinge of green mixed in there. And you can see, and from his jaw, you can see a bit of a tusk-like protrusion from his lower teeth. It's a little more subtle, but still notable. As he holds open the door for Beau goes inside. He kind of nods at the other 3 and holds a hand up. Just a second. And he goes in behind Beau and closes the door. Beau, you walk into a dimly lit room. It's fairly spacious, but full of things. Plenty of tables with all manner of different plant life in different sized pots. They're all labeled a little differently, but kind of look generally grouped together. It's similar. A lot of them are just small sprouts of green, so they don't initially look terribly different from one another. But there's a very earthy scent in here. It's a nice, very controlled, warm temperature. There's shelves all along the walls, each one holding some form of plant care, whether it's dirt, whether it's items for spades and things like that. Just various assortments of things. It is relatively dark. I don't think that's an issue for you, but give me a perception check, please.
21.
Even amongst the dim lighting and the shadow in this room, you can see they're going through or past some of the tables and the items on the tables. Some of them look like they might have been kind of moved out of the way as someone was going through. But mind you, these are relatively widely spaced tables and different accoutrements on these tables. But it looks like something nudged them as something was coming through here. Probably the person who came in before you two. And you can see on the far wall, kind of in a corner, you see a very large form. Not facing you until you hear the door close fully behind you. Chabodai behind you. He kind of does this that tick sound, like you're calling to a cat almost. He does that twice before he says, someone wants to meet you. Seem pretty insistent. You ready? The form across the room slowly turns towards you. What you see is the face appears to be a young man. Very, very large cheeks. A bare face, a light skin.
Oh, bare, no facial
bare
hair.
Bare as in not, no facial hair. Brenna, words matter. a no facial hair featured face, but a human face, or humanoid face. Kind of a floppy mushroom cut, or a bowl cut, brown hair. But most notable is he looks morbidly obese. You see chin after chin as he turns to look at you. You can see you almost can't see his very thick neck as he turns, these broad shoulders leading to very beefy, massive arms. He kind of has his hands up by his chest, and they're these just very thick, sausagey fingers that he's kind of got clutched together. It takes him a minute to lift his eyes towards you, and he doesn't say anything at first. But he looks very nervous.
Beau was totally can't talk, right? So that guy still hasn't said anything either?
Mm-hmm. You don't see directly behind you, but after a moment, the young man kind of starts to move towards you. And you hear something slide as the side of him seems to catch onto something on one of the tables just for his girth in this room. Kind of catches something on the table. He quickly puts it back and then starts walking very carefully towards you. When he's within maybe 5 feet, 10 feet, he looks at you again. Hi.
It just kind of wait. He doesn't know when he's supposed to start talking. So
he looks at you and then looks up to Chabodai, who's behind you still. He's leaning on the door. Okay, fair enough. You can introduce yourself. You two, make friends, be nice.
Oh, hello. I'm Beau. Nice day, isn't it?
He looks up. Yeah. Some storms might be coming in. I think they'll pass before the festival though, so that's good. I'm Warrit.
Okay. Hello. Warrit. Question
Not
for
Warrit.
Warrit. Got it.
Yeah. Thanks.
Question for you. As a druid, did you grow up in any kind of enclave or anything like that?
Yeah?
Okay, sorry if that's a stupid question.
Well, not if you're not. I guess you're not. No, yeah, I have a family I came from.
Okay. So he's going to reach inside a vest and he's going to grab something from it and then bring it out. And it has, I don't know if twine or something like that, but it's got long strands coming down the side of it. And he's going to hold out his hand. He's going to open his palm and there's a pendant necklace, essentially. And the pendant's green, almost emerald green, but it's not like an actual emerald. But it's green and it's in the shape of a star, and he's gonna hold it up so that he could see it. Does he make any kind of reaction?
Mm-hmm. Give me an insight check.
That's a 13 or 16.
Okay, you don't have to mark the die. You look at his face for a reaction, and he doesn't appear to give one. He just seems to be staring directly at this pendant. He looks up at you for a moment, looks back down at the pendant. He looks back at you. Zoyetani mater?
I'm sorry, what?
And as you say that, you see his eyes start to narrow. Where did you get that?
It was given to me. Do you recognize where it's from?
I do. It wasn't given to you.
I have it because someone gave it to me. Seems to me like that's given, unless it's different where you're from.
No. Whoever that belongs to wouldn't have just given that to you. You don't even know what that is.
True. I don't know where it's from exactly, like enclave-wise, which is where you come in. If you'd be so kind.
What did you do to that person?
Nothing.
Then how do you have their bound heart?
Don't know what that means, but they gave it to me.
That's crazy. You can't just give that to someone. That'd be like ripping your own heart out of your chest.
Well, it's not inside anyone's chest. And it was passed over to me.
By who?
By the person who owned it.
If I don't know who it is, I can't tell you anything about it.
What do you mean? If you know what it is...
It's not just for anyone to know.
Who are the ones to know?
The one it belongs to. A druid has, or earns, a bound heart. That belongs... He reaches into his own, like, his collar, and he kind of has to tug to get his very meaty fingers past where the collar is, like, pulled up, and his neck fat is kind of, like, over the edge of it. He kind of has to pull it out. But he pulls out another pendant that almost looks like a kind of rougher version of what you're holding. Yours has this elegance about it, this like crystalline elegance. His looks very carved, but with like a gem. Coming up from the bottom, it's a circular, but right towards the bottom, it almost becomes a bit of a point. And from there are little crystals that seem to be embedded into the wooden ring of it. His is also tied with a bit of cord, some type of rope or twine, and he holds that out. This one is mine, from my family. But you can't, if you have one, you don't just give it away. Unless, no, you can't just give it away. How did you really get it?
Every circle have these things exactly the same?
If they don't respect it, they won't keep it for long.
What? I'm talking about like the enclave yours came from. Like every single druid group, the same setup. They all have these hearts that aren't hearts.
They have something similar, but that looks like it came from the sister family that, well, they broke off a long time ago with the Exodus when the Purist Kingdoms were formed. A lot of us went that way. It caused a big divide.
So are they called sister family or a different name?
They have a name, but I can't tell you that. If you can't tell me where you got that, who gave it to you?
An elf.
That makes sense. That's from the family that broke off. They broke off. That's all I can say.
Are you sure you can't say more?
Not if you can't tell me where that's from. That's a druid's bound heart.
Okay, we keep circling around back to that. I know what it is now, and I told you someone gave it to me.
And I told you all I can tell you. If you're not if it's not yours? Are you going to return it?
Yes,
Will you really?
of course.
Roll a deception or a persuasion.
So that is a 16 or 22.
You do not need to burn the die, but his eyes steadily glare at you as if he doesn't believe what you're saying necessarily.
What don't I have to say if I was persuading, or?
He's just unsure of what you're saying. He's not sure he can
I
believe
see.
that either way. It's very important that if that druid that belongs to, if they're still alive, that needs to be returned to them. And the entire time you can tell off of his body language that he is, despite that he is big, his presence is very small. But as he was talking about the bound heart and about his family, it was kind of coming out of his shell a little bit. But at the idea of like a confrontation, he seems to be kind of backing off just a little bit. But he doesn't seem to fully trust what you're saying.
Alright, well, she can't get it back now if I don't know where she is.
She's lost? Or are you lost?
She's lost.
That's unfortunate. Well, I'm sorry, but, well, I guess if she meant anything to you, and if you didn't just steal that from her, please tell me you didn't just steal it from her. Did you didn't, and he kind of almost whispers the word, kill her, did you?
Tell you that if you tell me what I want.
And he seems to be like, just his presence just seems to continue to shrink. I can't. What you're asking is serious. I can't just talk about that.
Don't need to point it out on a map. I just want a name.
Name of what?
Where they'd be from.
Someone with something like that would, like you said, an elf. They're probably in one of the purest kingdoms. That's all I can say. That's all I really know without knowing who it belongs to.
What makes you think you'd know who it belongs to if I did give you a name?
Without going into a whole long history that I had to study since I was a baby, I don't know how many druids you think are out there. But the families, there are only so many. And we've only reached so far. And even with the divide, the Millennium War wasn't good for anybody. So, names help. Names matter. They mean something. It's a start, anyway. If you didn't really hurt that person. And he starts leaning back again.
I did hurt that person. I could just add to my collection.
And you hear a set of knuckles cracking behind your head. I can defend myself. For my family, I could do it. And he's holding on to his pendant.
Beau's rolling his eyes.
I know Beau is. I just pictured it.
So if I give you a name, you would just know.
I don't know about just know, but I'd have a better idea.
How old are you?
Me?
Yes, not, I don't know, what was his name? Corn Cob in the corner?
Who? He looks up over your head again. He doesn't correct you either. He looks at you with an eye raised. Then he seems to almost feel offended. Older than I look. It's out his chest.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot.
Do you?
You came to me.
True. Fine. Let's put your knowledge to the test. Lashana.
That it?
That's a name.
It's a given name. Very pretty. You don't happen to have a family name.
Not from when she was with the druids.
And he stops and he thinks about it. Well, between that and he points back at you and the pendant. Well, that's if she's from the Zoyatani. He thinks he stops and he thinks, if that's hers, and if she belongs, Well, it wouldn't be that exactly, because if she's from... I have to think about it.
Turns out
You didn't give me
pretty
a lot.
young.
You didn't give me a lot.
You were quite certain if you had a name.
You didn't give me a full name. A lot of times, especially
How many
from families
Lashanas
that
are
break
running
away-
around in your druid little camps?
Not in mine, because you said she was an elf. And if she is... And he stops and he pauses to breathe. He stops and he takes a deep breath. And his cheeks are a little bit flushed. If that's the pendant you have, she'd be from the families that broke away. She'd be, if you're telling the truth, that would be not from the Zoyatani, but the Zoyatani Mater, the ones who broke off. The pure ones, as they want to call themselves. Their bound hearts started looking different from ours when they left. Are you're looking for this person?
Maybe. Why,
Well-
do you have more information?
Not if you're going to hurt her.
No.
No, you said that she gave it to you?
Yes, you're finally putting the pieces together.
But you're not a druid.
What makes you so sure?
As in you'd know what it is.
Maybe I was self-taught.
That's not how that works. You're definitely not a druid. He crosses his big arms, but he seems to be more lost in thought than anything else. Look, if you're looking for her, I mean, I guess I already told you more than I should, and I better not get in trouble. But if you hurt her, after she trusted you with that, then I hope the slingers and the weavers have mercy on you.
Yeah, don't worry. No one's gonna know it was you. Don't even remember your name, Wart.
Warrit.
Oh, thanks. Now I'll make sure to tell them.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that.
Right, have a good day. Thanks.
Yeah. Good luck.
You
The
too.
Zoyatani Mater, you shouldn't mess with them.
Oh? Are they dangerous?
Well, you're the one going to look for them. And so much for what I know, right? Good luck getting help if you're not going to talk to another druid. And good luck if you're not a druid.
Alright, goodbye.
Good luck. When you turn, Chabadai's already stepped, like, he hasn't left by the door. His hand has been on the doorknob the entire time. He kind of gives you a look like, are you sure? Like, you've got everything you want.
For now.
Oh, look at you two. Fast friends. This actually went a lot better than I thought it would. He'll step away from the door for you.
And he'll walk out.
The other three, while this conversation was going on inside, were you doing anything while you waited for Beau for a few minutes? Poor Snow is drunk.
Viola's just been waiting very impatiently, like tapping her foot because she wants to know what happened when Beau gets back out.
Ste'yn probably tried to get Snow to sit down. She'd sit down next to him. That way he's not just standing there in his state, but can rest a little bit while waiting.
And Beau, you come back out to the others in the hall.
Beau, what happened? Did you talk to him? Are you guys friends now?
Yes, and probably no.
Beau, if you made him hate us after I've been trying so hard to make this polar bear friends with me, I'm gonna be very upset.
Viola, you weren't even mentioned.
Yeah, but he knows I brought him to you. Maybe he doesn't know that, but Habodai does. What's his name? Does he have a name? Did he talk to you? Did he tell you his name?
It's like Wart something, or Warren. No.
Warren?
No. It's kind of like Wart, or close. I don't know.
Wart?
Just be glad you met him as a bear.
Was he mean to you?
No. He just looks and smells better as a bear.
Beau, that is rude.
You didn't see him.
Well, I don't judge a book by its cover. Anyways, do we have any more errands to run here, or can I head to, Kepner's?
Thought we were all going to Saker's Keep.
I need to go to Kepner's to return this stuff. If you guys want to go to Saker's Keep, that's fine. But I'm gonna go there and ask around about Ziva and return this stuff.
We should probably stay together. We could go drop the things off at Katniss pretty quickly and then make for Sakis.
Isn't Saker's Keep first? Positionally.
Bren? Which one is it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember the
I thought
map.
Captors was
Yeah,
farther.
It might be slightly. It's in the opposite direction anyway.
I was gonna say, I didn't think they were the same direction.
Oh.
Yeah, Saker's Keep is a little more directly south, but also it's heading east. Kepner's Command is on the far side of the city, on the western side.
It's fine, they're in opposite directions. I'll just run to Kepner's, return the stuff, check the log, ask about Ziva, and then I'll be on my way to Saker's Keep before you know it. I won't get sidetracked, I promise.
It is the same direction that the stables are in, so she might.
Remember the
didn't
last
know that,
time we
she
went
wouldn't
to
know that.
Saker's Keep? One of the last times we went there ended up being a fight. If we go there now, we could already be in a fight before you get back.
Or there could be a fight at Katniss. Something's up in this place, and we don't know what or where it's actually centered.
Okay, fine. Well, which one are we going to first?
Then why don't we go to Sakis first, and maybe they can help Snow here, and then we can make the walk over to Katniss.
Okay, we'll do that then. Viola will start walking.
We wanted to check out
We know you're
Galoro,
fine.
right?
Yes, you remembered his name. I'm surprised.
Yes.
Yes, and Jeremy. Figure out that pendant situation.
Oh yeah, I don't remember if I told you guys, but I mentioned Jeremy to Winna and Cynthia. I kind of talked him up, but
Why?
I figured, well, you know how the rumor mill works. If you just put something in there, then you can hear all the information you need to know. So I told Cynthia and Winna if they heard anything about him to let me know. I told them I've never seen him before, but
Rumor mills usually work better if it's a plausible situation. Talking up Jeremy is far from plausible.
information is information regardless of how you get it. And we need information now, correct?
We do. You just might have started a rumor about your own crush, though.
I don't have a crush on Jeremy. He is not my type.
Rumor mill might say otherwise. You'll have to see.
Well,
Wait, if you brought up Jeremy, how many other things did you bring up?
I don't remember. A couple things. We talked a lot. It's fine.
How much is in the rumor mill?
Yeah, what other rumors did you start?
Well, they might think that you're like a necromancer or something, Ste'yn, but I'm not 100%
Well, that fits.
sure.
Ste'yn stiffens and looks offended.
I told them no, and I defended you
told them
because
no.
they thought you were weird for sleeping in a graveyard. And well, actually, I told them I thought it was kind of weird too. But I told them that I loved you anyways, and that you were a great person, and that they shouldn't judge you before meeting you.
I do not know how to react to any of that.
Oh, Beau, they might think you're dumb too. But I told them that.
Excuse
you're
me?
not, because I mentioned about me having memory issues. And then I was like, but my memory's not as bad as Beau. And so then they were like, is he dumb? And I was like, no, he's not dumb. And then they were like, well, did he bump his head? And I was like, I'm not really sure what the issue is. But he has just been having some problems with his memory recently.
Let me just be clear. I might dabble in some necromantic magic. I'm not a necromancer. There's a big difference.
Well, and I told them that. I said I didn't know anything about that you healed people, and that's all I knew. I just think you like graveyard stuff, and it's just a calming place for you.
It is because the dead are at rest, and they should stay at rest, unlike necromancers want them to.
Well, you can tell Winna and Cynthia all about that tonight. I told them that you worshipped a goddess, but I couldn't remember her name.
How
But
could you
you
not remember Atola?
Oh, look, you remembered.
You know what? I just said I was having memory issues, and my memory is not that great. There's just a lot that goes in and a lot that comes out, and so it's hard to just like.
And yet you
No.
walked away with them thinking I was the stupid one.
I mean, if the shoe fits.
Oh! She'll punch him in the arm.
And we're
Yeah,
heading-
you're definitely not going to Katniss alone.
I'm fine. Everything's fine. Don't worry about it.
We'll make a quick stop at Seika's.
I feel like I'm gonna regret asking this. Did you mention Ziva to them?
Oh, I did ask them if they had seen her recently, and they actually acted like they didn't even know who she was. And I just said that if they saw her to let me know, because I needed to return this stuff to her, and so that I was looking for her. Right? We wanted to know more about Ziva if anybody knew she was dead. They didn't even know who she was, really, so...
Right, so all the more reason to give them a little bit of time to see if they hear anything about her before you go to Capnus. And you're
Any
not going
other
by yourself.
questions for me? I already agreed. We're headed to Saker's Keep right now. I don't know what more you want from me.
Correct. And while we're heading there, we should come up with a game plan.
Go talk to Garoro. That's the game plan.
Well, you can get certain things from talking to them, but you could also get information by checking out their office.
Someone needs to talk to Jeremy too, right?
Yes.
You seem very much interested in Jeremy. I'm beginning to think you protest too much.
You think I what too much?
Protest too much.
The lady doth protest too much.
I don't get it, but I'm not interested in Jeremy.
New shipping sheets.
I think we all know who I'm really interested in, so it's fine.
But if Jeremy's actually involved in anything, you should be careful talking to him.
I wasn't planning on talking to him.
Excellent. Why don't we go there and see who we find first? And I can talk to them if you want to investigate officers or something.
Yes. Snow, is it Gorora's office you were in before?
He had a weird wall. Snow has just been sitting against the wall this whole time, conjuring little blue butterflies and having them flutter up towards the ceiling before they dissipate, and he just conjures some more.
I thought we were having this conversation while walking, because when we decided that we were going to Saker's,
No one
Viola
ever said
started
that.
walking away.
We were still in the hallway.
Viola's
But-
talking to nobody.
Well, let's get up and moving. We can continue this discussion on the way. And Ste'yn will stand and offer a hand to Snow to help him stand.
Snow, do you want a piggyback ride?
Nah, I'm fine.
Yeah, you're fine. Come on.
Sure.
Are you going to give him a
Tries to
piggyback ride
stand up on
anyway?
his own, and then obviously cannot, and accepts your hand, Stan.
Ste'yn will help him to his feet and wrap her arm around his shoulders, giving him as much support as she can without actually carrying him.
For funsies, give me a dexterity check, please.
Me?
Yes, please.
All right, just straight dex.
Yes, please.
That is a 17.
Yeah, even where Snow might be maybe slightly fumbling as he's walking, you are able to stand firm and tall, not get tripped up by his feet, and help him walk.
Good.
So all four of you are headed to Saker's?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. You make your way back out of the Novice Hut, back through the Wild Pipe. It's still that kind of lessening crowd after lunch, but the barmaids and the bar lads are still zooming about, smiling bright as ever, wave to you. Ste'yn, give me a perception check.
Happily, I love these.
I know you do.
That is a
All.
26.
Yeah. You see, as you're helping Snow, you're making sure he is walking fine, and it does appear that you're getting a lot of waves. Your first thought is Snow is getting a lot of waves, because they're all very kind to him. They all seem to very much enjoy having him come by. But you notice it's not just him. They are also seeming to wait to catch your eye and wave at you in particular.
Lovely. Ste'yn just
And-
ducks her head down.
It's almost like you can still feel them as they're gliding past and going about. And you make your way out of the Wild Pike.
Should get another drink.
Nope. Keep it moving.
Ste'yn will take out her water skin and press that and help Snow take a drink of that if he wants to.
It's not as good.
It's what you need. Trust me, I know these things.
No, where was his office?
Good.
The one with the weird wall.
It was down the hole. I don't know. I'm sure I could find it again though.
His office is downstairs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's down the stairs, one of the doors. Not hard to find.
Right, so you get their attention and I'll slip off.
Simple enough.
Viola, keep your eye out for Jeremy.
Mm-mm.
You're right, you're bobbing your head quite a lot.
I'm listening to you. Sorry, Viola's not popping your head.
I mean, I just picture Viola in a good mood, you know, just sort of bobbing back and forth as she's walking.
If
I
she's
can see
doing
it.
anything while they're walking, she would have like pulled out her rapier and just be kind of like swinging it around and like chopping at tall blades of grass as they walk by.
You're a child. Absolute child.
What of it, Ste'yn? You got a problem?
Just don't cut anyone with that you don't mean to.
I won't intentionally do that. Pinky swear.
Sadly, those don't hold much
There's
weight
no
for
reason
me.
in being an adult. If you
They
can't
hold
be
all
it.
the weight in the world to me, Ste'yn. There is no breaking a pinky swear.
You're
Right.
so right.
Oh, not you, too.
You realize if you just swing that at everything, you're gonna dull the blade.
It's not a
I take
slashing
care of my
weapon,
weapons,
piercing.
Beau. Not your problem.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just a pinky promise you won't hurt anyone with it on the way.
I pinky promise that I intentionally will not hurt anyone on the way.
Oh, boy. Right. I hope you stay innocent.
Not sure what you're talking about.
Exactly. So we make our way to Sekas?
If you are taking a relative, I'm sure you're not, leisurely, you're not moseying, but if you are just a standard walking pace with keeping snow in mind, it'll probably take you, if I'm recalling, like half an hour heading in that direction versus going all the way down towards the stables. And you arrive, the gates are open, you see, there's a couple of acolytes outside who appear to be tending towards some of those flowers that look as if they are a bit wildly grown, but still in that general vicinity of the front wall. Some you can see off in the distance, handling various carts. But as you approach, there is one who is standing by the front gate who just seems to be greeting people as they come and go. He doesn't stop you as you make your way inside of the keep.
Real quick, I was gonna say, but when they're like 10 minutes from it, Beau's gonna do the ritual casting for detect magic.
There is magic.
But it's mainly
Lots of it.
prioritizing for the use in the guy's office.
Fair. There is lots of magic as you are finishing your ritual and approaching the gates. Pings everywhere, things outlined, lots going on there. You walk inside. You walk into that squared entry hall, all that beautiful polished marble, the sconces lit, and you actually see right towards the one of the two arches leading further into Sacred's Keep. You see Ste'yn. You recognize Yonai standing at the far side of the atrium area. He's speaking to someone tall, has a cloak pulled up over a tall feminine form, and holding a bag in her hands. She has gloves over her hands. And you can see of the skin as she's kind of starting to turn a little bit, just in their mid-conversation, you see the skin on her face has a little bit of a kind of a glitter to it. The hood, you can easily tell with your perception, is held up not by hair, but rather there are horns underneath, the cloak pulled quite far over it. You recognize Emil from the Wild Pike. Those two appear to be mid-conversation, or the conversation seems to be ending as she turns away from him, sees the four of you entering, and gives a little wave.
Hello.
Hello. Sorry, I won't stay in your way. It was good to see you. And
You're not in our way.
You too.
Is he all right?
He
Great.
has had a little to drink.
I see. As she looks over at you, Snow, she reaches a hand out and kind of tips your chin up. She's a bit taller than you are. Tip your chin up a bit. If your head tilts back, she will support it. Are you sure you're all right?
Never better.
Don't you work in a tavern? He's drunk.
She looks at you. I do understand what it looks like when one has intoxicated. It's generally the reason one becomes intoxicated that I concern myself with.
It's been a day, you could say, and it's not even mid-afternoon.
No, it is not. She looks back at you, Snow. If you need anything else, she says this very poignantly, go back to the pike. We will take care of you. A drink or otherwise.
All I need is for you to have a good day.
Beau insight check that comment that she made.
Sure, go ahead.
Let's know what she's insinuating. 10 or 14.
Mark your die. Believe it or not, she does appear to have his best interest at heart, and she's simply making the point that she also seems clear he's not going to get. She just wants the initial words to hit, that if he wants to go to the pike to talk, she will be available to him. The impression that she understands wanting to drink in the middle of the day, perhaps.
No idea what you're talking about.
We'll make sure he remembers that. Thank you.
Thank you. And still
remember
clutching this
everything.
bag.
What's in the bag?
Well, it was going to be a delivery, but not today, it seems.
Why?
Because the person I'm looking for is not here.
What are you looking for?
I was looking for one of the acolytes, but
Oh, which one?
don't
We
let
know
me
a fair few of
concern
them.
Do you?
Oh yes, I spend a good bit of time here. It's sort of part of my deal, my thing.
I see. Well, I was looking for, I think his name is Jeremy, but I don't think he's here, so.
No?
Well, that's what Yonai was telling me anyway. She looks
Hmm.
back. Yonai looks like he was fiddling with something in his pocket before he was about to make his way out, and then he heard his name, turned around.
Oh, excellent, Yonai. Can I have a word with you in a moment?
Sure. Welcome back. You didn't bring any bandits with you or anything, right?
No, actually, and Ste'yn will give Emil a nod and a little bit of a wave. I was hoping we could get a little bit of maybe assistance for my friends here, and I had some questions for you anyway.
Yeah, sure. Door's always open.
And Ste'yn gives a little bit of a nod to Beau, like I'm giving you a distraction. You might as well start moving.
Emil just kind of sees the situation moving along, and she just nods at you all. Have a good day, and don't forget about us.
Beau's gonna spend one of his psionic dice to
Bye.
create a mind link.
Okay.
And then he's going to message to Ste'yn, I thought you were gonna distract Gororo. If he's in his office, I
Getting-
can't go in there.
Getting to that. And actually, is Gororo around anywhere? Head Celebrant Gororo. We came across some matters that I think he needs to know about as well.
Wow, you guys. It seems like everyone has bad luck today. He's not here.
Is not?
Mm-mm.
Do you know where he is?
I think he's helping. Where did he run off to? I don't know. He's helping with something. He gets called a lot of places. But all I know, he'll be back in time for the festival, so if you can wait a few
So
days.
he might be gone for
A
days.
week. Afraid so. The fact that he was here as long as he was, that was kind of surprising, honestly.
Right.
What
Well,
do you
I
need?
just have a few questions for you.
Beau
Maybe you can help
starts
us with
slipping
things.
out now.
Okay. Are you rolling stealth, or are you attempting to stealth out?
I mean, it's kind of, I guess, trying not to be noticed by him that he's walking away.
Ste'yn's going to try to get Yonai to turn away from wherever Beau would need to walk, like put herself, just sort of arrange the conversation to where Yonai's
Take him by
talking
the
to her
shoulders and
so
move
Beau
him
can-
his body.
Look
away.
at me. And give me a persuasion roll.
Persuasion? Oh, she's good at those.
Yeah.
That's a 22.
Okay. Yeah, you are, as you're having this conversation about, asking about Gawaro and, oh, is he really not here? Oh, I won't see him for days. And you're just kind of slowly meandering in a little bit of a semicircle and just naturally not thinking about it. He just seems to be kind of following your direction, just part of the conversation. So if you needed his back to Beau, his back would be to Beau.
Cool.
And Beau, head down towards where he believes the staircase was.
So Beau, when you go out of the archway, you're in that first kind of long perpendicular hallway. Did you remember where the stairs were?
He's
Ste'yn can
been
give
here
him
a
some
couple of different
directions.
times.
Yeah, but the part where this was wouldn't have been. It's not generally just like, hey, everyone goes in this direction. Well, actually, yeah. I think you might have spotted them. I think it's in that same area.
He
where
was darting around back there,
little waiting
causing
area was.
fires not that long ago.
It's not in that direction. It's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's still on this side of the keep. Give me a quick investigation check.
Investigation, that's 19.
Yeah, you step out into that first perpendicular hallway. The memory comes back to you. You turn to the right, and there's another archway. You turn again. You're heading in the direction of where the sort of healing room is, where people are waiting and talking to healers. A little further down is where a doorway is. There is another acolyte that is standing in that area. Kind of seems to be making rounds, but is never quite out of sight of that hallway. There just appears to be acolytes kind of scattered throughout, even in the hallway you just left. So there is someone standing there. You are visible to them.
All right, are there people all in every single hallway?
This is the only one you looked in so far.
I mean, but any of the hallways that I was walking down, other people, how many people are there around right now?
Just from the general buzz in the, echoing off the marble and the stone walls, there are people around. It is not quiet in Sager's Keep today.
All right, he's going to first try the direct approach, and he's just gonna walk over and then just try to go down the stairs.
As you come into this area, the acolyte, you see an Aarakocra, this tall, you see a large bird-like head, feathers that are coming out from the bottom of these white robes, hands kind of one over the other, feathered hands one over the other, and he waves at you and holds a hand up. Can I help you?
Yes, I was hoping to go downstairs, actually.
Oh, there's nothing down there except offices. But if you're looking for any of the prayer rooms, they would be down the hall. It's a little bit to the right and then down those halls.
Well,
There are
actually,
also
I
some
was going to
directly in this
meet
hall.
somebody up in their office.
The offices are empty now.
Everyone's on lunch?
Not lunch, but the offices downstairs are generally for just upper celebrants.
Yes,
and
they were
a
going
lot
to
of
meet
them
with
are-
me. That's why we were going to meet in their office.
I don't think they have
Maybe
any
I'm
meetings
ahead
today.
of them. I might be ahead of them. It was a last minute thing.
That's possible. You can have a seat, and there's a bench across from the wall with the door. They should be here if they're gonna meet you. They should be here any minute then.
Yeah, but I was thinking that I could just sit in the office and wait.
I'm sorry, I can't allow you downstairs. But if you needed somewhere quiet to wait, we have private prayer chambers as well. And a library.
I see. What direction? Do you want to take me to this place? Library?
I can show you where it is. It's just on the other side of the atrium.
Okay.
And he will flush the feathers forward as he's holding his arm out and guide you back into that perpendicular hallway, back into the atrium, and you can see on the other side.
How many different turns and stuff like that are they making?
It's just one and then two, and you're back in the atrium.
And he's ahead of him then, because Beau was trying to have him lead him there. So he's walking up in front of Beau, right?
I generally kind of imagined you two side by side.
That's not what Beau's trying to accomplish. It's side by side.
You can give me a stealth check if you're trying to get out of his sight. I mean, it's difficult. He's right there.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
he was having him lead him. I mean, most like tour guides don't walk side by side with their tour.
Well, it's
They
just the two
walk
of you,
ahead of
though.
him.
It's not like a whole like group he's guiding. So you can try to maneuver yourself to be behind him. He's just generally walking side by side with you.
He's gonna try and maneuver himself behind him.
Okay. Give me well, I mean, I guess it's basically a stealth. If you're trying to get out of his line of sight.
Sure, I'll go with
Essentially.
that.
Have
That's
fun.
19.
He starts guiding you ahead. You two are walking side by side. He's explaining what kind of... You were asking about the library?
Yeah,
Yeah, he starts explaining what kind of books that they have, but does strongly suggest that you check out the Musée library, which is on the other side of the city. And as he's talking, he's not quite looking at you. You can kind of maneuver yourself behind him. So he continues walking into the atrium. Ste'yn, you hear this voice and then see an Aarakocra in these long white robes talking about libraries and books on various gods, different types of prayer, but he appears to maybe have entered by himself.
and Beau's gonna bolt back to the staircase. Full speed.
You bolt back to the staircase. There is a door there that you go to grab it. It appears to be locked.
Lock picks. Come on.
Do it.
I got one.
That's not good. Yeah, you race back, go for the lock, trying to go as quickly as you can. Pop. It snaps and it's stuck in the doorway, in the knob.
Gonna message. There's a bit of an issue. To stay in.
Back over to Ste'yn. You had questions for Yonai. He's looking at you.
Ste'yn will give the tiniest shake of her head at Beau's antics, but she's mostly just looking at Yonai, and she's thinking for a minute, trying to remember the question she had for him just a few days ago, but it feels like it's been so long since then. Actually, I was really intrigued, and it didn't quite hit me until a little while ago. You're very young for a follower of Atala.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
How did you learn about her?
Good question. I don't know. She's kind of always been there. It's funny. So my folks are actually big on, of all things, they're just real simple people, but they were always big on gardening. It was always their thing. They really liked gardening. So I remember as a kid, I used to just kind of hang out and watch them, and they'd let me dig in the dirt. You know, what's a kid gonna do? Dig in some dirt. And I remember one time they were planting, they were just doing some flowers out and about. And I remember I didn't want them to do that because the flowers kept bringing in bees, and I am allergic. So I remember being very upset that they were planting these flowers out front. And then I saw they were planting these roses. I was like, well, in my head as a kid, I'm thinking like, oh, well, they look cool. They smell funny, whatever. And I was sitting out there and ended up pricking my finger on one of them, which just made me hate roses on top of that. But almost as soon as I had seen I was bleeding, it stopped. And I can't remember what or who was there. But I remember looking and someone was sitting next to me, and I could not get out of my head this lady. There was this lady was sitting next to me. It was the weirdest thing because when I actually looked, nobody was there, but like it felt like someone was there. Couldn't get out of my head. Next thing I know, just have this lady's image in my head all the time. And it took a little while, and I realized who it was. Yeah, that lady. I don't know why she decided to show up by pricking me with a rose, but
I called her
knows?
the Lady of the Roses for the longest time before I learned her name.
maybe that's her thing. Did she also
Maybe.
stab you with a rose?
No, she patted my head.
That sounds a lot better.
Well, interesting.
Yeah, she doesn't
And-
seem like the type to kind of She doesn't seem like the type that you sit and study and then you get to know her. She kind of feels like she has known you forever. And she finds you more than you find her.
Absolutely. You never know what she's going to have you do.
Well, apparently I'm supposed to spend my best years in a marble prison. Here I am.
Well,
You should leave and see the world.
yes, no, I know you didn't like being an acolyte. It's okay.
Oh, did he start and
Didn't
stop?
work out.
With who?
Nobody
dear?
important.
Dual deer. That's a rough one.
It was not his vocation.
No.
And
Well,
that's
if
all
you're
right.
still... He looks at you, Snow. If you're still looking, I know someone who, her whole thing is vocations.
I do my own thing.
He's not looking to stop following her. But maybe one day.
We'll see what she says.
You're talking about me like I'm not here, Ste'yn.
I apologize for that. I know you and the gods are a bit testy, though, so I was trying to be discreet, polite. I don't know. I'm not good at this whole talking to people thing.
Are you here, bud? You with
That's
us?
not true. Who? Me?
You. You look like you could use a rest.
Yes. No, I'm good.
So I was partially wondering if I could get some help for her in here. Just been So I was telling Emil, it's been a long day and it's not even mid-afternoon.
Yeah, no kidding. Unfortunately, our top healer who handles situations like this is also not here.
I did have one more question for you, though. Do you ever had dreams about someone else's death?
No. Is that a new... Is that something I should keep out for Our Lady?
I was
Sending
hoping you could
dreams
tell
of
me.
death? Ah. No, that sounds like something you two need to talk about.
Well, she doesn't like to talk much these days.
Where are you trying to talk to her?
Anywhere? Everywhere?
Have you tried here?
Been away from here for a little while.
You're here now.
Maybe later today. We've got some other things to do. Was hoping to get some more answers here, but seems the people we wanted to talk to aren't necessarily available.
Ah, yeah. Sorry about that. A few of the acolytes are going about. I think they're handling a lot of things before the Harvest Time Festival starts. Get everything situated, and then they don't have to worry too much. A lot of people are winding down as the festival is coming around. There aren't a lot of... Well, I hear on the guardianship side of things, not a lot of assignments go out around now. A lot of the tutors and people are all taking a break. So, gives you plenty of time in here, though.
I'll probably be back later tonight.
Okay. Not like you know she won't find you.
She will find me if she wants to. But if you see Jeremy around, I also had a question for him about something, but it's not as important.
Are you also trying to deliver something to him?
No. Just wanted to check something we'd spoken about before, but nothing more.
Snow walked away.
Not feeling wonderful still, catching the tail end of the copious amounts of alcohol that you had imbibed. Where did you walk off to?
We're still in the atrium, so
Mhm.
is it just the front archway leading outside?
Yes.
There's
It would
that
be
little
the...
room off to the side with the healing thing that Viola bopped.
Yeah, there are rooms
Then-
along the side of the atrium. There's the front that leads to like a little bit of a little other entry space, and then outside. And then there's the back wall that has the two arches leading in.
Yeah, he's not interested in any of that. He just makes his way to outside and
Pull
found
this
a nice
out.
bit of grass, and he is sat down, taking his staff out of the bag of holding.
You're amidst these flowers that are kind of growing just a little over and beyond the flower beds. The acolyte waiting outside hasn't acknowledged you, kind of every now and then just kind of gives like a little look over towards you, kind of wondering what you're doing. But before too long, someone else comes out, seems to replace him, and he scurries off, and there's now a young woman outside that you also have seen. The young woman who also witnessed all the bandit stuff, Tamar. She sees you out there, kind of gives you a once-over. Did you need something?
Hello.
Hello. Again. What was your name again? Sorry.
Snow. And
Snow.
you are?
Tamar. I saw you guys at the bandits that day. That was crazy. Oh, why are you
Yes.
out here?
I don't really like the temple, so I decided to come sit in the flowers.
The flowers are nice. I'm not much with flowers myself, but they're nice. But aren't those your... There's a little commotion inside. I think it's being handled, but aren't those your friends inside?
There's always a commotion. I don't know what they're doing.
I also don't know what they're doing. But you looked lonely? Sorry.
What is your... No. Sorry. Never mind. Have we spoken before?
Not
You
much.
said you remembered us. Okay, good. Just
A
making
little.
sure I didn't forget you, because I don't like to forget people.
No.
You want a flower crown?
Sure.
And he holds up one that's halfway made. Wonderful.
Yeah. If you're just giving them away.
I always do. And he'll finish it and hand it to her.
She takes it and she moves her robe back. She had a hood on her robe. She moves it back, and she also has a scarf underneath her hood, but hers is all in white. And she places the flower crown over the white hood over her hair. Her long brown hair. Thank you.
Flower crown are daisies, by the way. And the color matches everything else.
I like when things match. But, if you don't mind my saying so, it just seems odd that you're out here and your friends are in there and you don't look terribly happy. I hope no one inside made you upset.
No. I'm sorry. I don't remember what they're doing, actually. There was definitely a reason, and I have no idea what it was. But they're doing things, and I assume when they finish doing things, the things will be done.
That makes sense. Are you doing something or you're only waiting for them?
I don't think I have anything I need to do.
You're at the temple. You can pray. You can meditate.
That puts me to sleep. I've in trouble for that a lot.
Sleeping? Why?
Instead of praying.
Oh. And she,
It's boring. No offense if that's your thing.
she shakes her head and she's crossed over towards you, so on the other side of the gate, and she sits down just outside of these flowers. To be honest, I've been here a few years already, and every day I fall asleep while I'm praying.
You should find something more interesting to do. The
No.
world is big.
True, but I don't sleep because I'm bored. I sleep because I'm peaceful.
Well, that's good too, I suppose.
You don't look peaceful.
There's just a lot on my mind, I suppose. And I
Well-
think the last drink I had didn't agree with me.
Ooh. Our better healers are out and about. But sometimes it's better to just let it go through your system. That way you learn. Magic can't fix everything.
Yes, it can. You just need enough of it.
Is that the only problem? Because you don't have enough magic to fix whatever this is?
I mean, it's not for this, but yes, I'm not entirely sure what the question was.
Well, you said magic can fix everything.
Oh, probably. I mean, I haven't tried, but I feel like I could.
Well,
I haven't found anything that couldn't be helped with magic.
can magic make someone fall in love with you?
Yes, but
But
it doesn't last very long.
but
that's also not a thing to fix. Because if a person doesn't love you, they're not going to love you. There's nothing you can do about it, even if they said they love you before.
Or, well, I guess you can't change someone's feeling. No, magic can't really do that. Not permanently, which means magic can't do everything. Am I wrong?
I'm not sure.
You'll have to think about it again when you've come down from this drinking excitement. Do you want me to leave? Am I annoying you? I'm sorry.
No, don't. I mean, if you have to, you can. But otherwise, no.
No, I'm greeting for a few hours. I just finished my prayer time, so it's my turn to stand out here. So I'll sit with you.
Who do you pray to?
Me?
You.
Are you familiar with Somlatl?
A little bit.
She's wonderful. Very organized, very straightforward. Clearly that's what I needed in my life.
Has she helped you with something?
He's helped me with a lot.
She ever talked to you?
In a way, yes. I guess that's not very straightforward, is it? Then let me say yes. Yes, she has. But even if other people don't recognize it, I do.
Good for you.
Should I ask her anything for you? There's very little she can't do.
Unless she wants to give me... No, I don't want that. Never mind.
You don't want what?
Nope.
Are you sure?
There's nothing she can give me that I want.
Okay. And then she sits back and she's leaning against the front wall of Saker's Keep. And you see her put her hands together, fingers clasped, and she closes her eyes.
I was going to use Prestidigitation to change the color of her, just the front of her robe. So when she opens her eyes, she'll see that it's different. And it's just like a really, really vibrant blue now. Not all of it, but just like the front part of it a little bit.
How long does Prestidigitation last?
An hour.
Yeah, she has her eyes closed as you cast this, and you can see her. She doesn't react. It takes a minute before she does finally open her eyes again, and you see her she starts for a second as she sees her robe.
Why did you pray to make your robe blue? That's a funny thing to ask for.
You know, it's funny. I didn't ask for that. I didn't think I did. Now, when you say that, are you smiling as you've done that to her? Played that little prank?
Probably a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, he's usually smiling anyway, so yes.
She looks at you. I didn't ask for that exactly. I was just asking, or I was telling her something I would like, which was for you to, if nothing else, start feeling better. Closes her eyes again.
I don't think it works.
I'll just have to try harder. Also, my favorite color is pink. And then she closes her mouth again.
The robe will change to pink.
You see her squint an eye open, just check if it changed. She doesn't outwardly, she doesn't speak a reaction, but you can see there's a little smile on her face as she goes back to hoping to not bother you, but keeping you company outside.
Oh. Ste'yn's gonna mind link over. How much more time do you need?
Well, I need that inner cockroach thingy to get back. Beau has, since the thing is broken, he's gone off on one of the side halls and he's staying out of sight, but trying to figure out where he's waiting to hear for the thing to get back.
Sure. Somewhere in there, the Aarakocra had interrupted and gone over, and you both watch and go back to your conversation. The Aarakocra comes back, looking a little flustered, looking around as if he'd lost something, goes back around the hall, out of the atrium.
Like he's got his feathers ruffled.
Ooh, a little bit. he could be a little uppity. Don't mind him. The Aarakocra returns to the hallway. Are you back in that same hallway with the door? Or are you in the perpendicular hallway?
So he'd be on one of the side hallways. That way he's not anywhere, like he's not showing up to the Aarakocra when it gets back.
Okay. You may or may not see him then return to kind of his station in that hallway by the door.
Okay. Can you peek
Very
out?
confused. Okay.
Does he see him if he peeks out?
If you're looking into the hall, he's just
Okay.
He's just
So he's
stationed
gonna
there.
use his masquerade tattoo to look like Goro. And then
Is he anywhere near tall enough to be Gorora? I thought Gorora was really tall.
I didn't think he was really tall. He's
not
just
like-
always around a
no, not
dwarf.
like- That's true. He does.
He's tall by comparison.
It's called perspective. You cast the spell, and you
And then-
cast the spell on yourself.
Yeah,
Or-
so then he's going to adjust his movements to be a nice, calm pace. And he is going to calmly and very muted expression walk towards the Aarakocra now.
He still looks very flustered as he's kind of scratching his head and then sees you enter. He looks surprised for a moment. Oh, head celebrant. Head celebrant? But I thought you were. Oh, welcome back.
Thank you. I had a meeting with a Beau. Have you seen him?
Well, someone came through, but how did you get back so quickly? Sorry, I don't be very questioning. I should. Oh, right. Calm down. Right. Gotta calm down.
It's fine.
But that would be very quick.
Yes, I had an urgent matter to attend to back here, so I came back quickly. Now,
More urgent?
yes.
Wow. Roll deception for me, please.
Next, he's gonna have to be like, actually, I forgot my keys. Could I borrow yours?
That is
yours?
so it's a 16.
Okay.
I keep rolling under 10. It's just that I've got really good modifiers for these things.
Boy, howdy.
I got a 9.
yeah.
I rolled the 4.
Uh-huh. And ended up with a 16. Is
Well,
that what you said?
it can be a 16. Otherwise, it's a
Yeah.
13.
Yeah, it needs to be a 16. Go ahead and mark your die.
Okay, cool.
The Aarakocra looks very flustered again, some more, and just kind of nods. If it's more important than being in the brute district, I can't imagine. Oh, and of course, you're calm as anything. I don't know how you do it.
If you could please get the door for me.
Oh.
Yes, it appears in my haste. I have left my keys.
Okay.
We know how hasty Goro always is. That's what he's known for
Yes,
right
it's a
there.
turtle.
He goes to the door, and that's when he sees the broken knob, the broken pick, and he pauses for a moment. Oh, rattling it, has his own. It's jammed in there. No, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Indeed.
And he goes back to messing with the door, but it's stuck. The door appears to be jammed here. I'm sorry. You're, of course, much more skilled. For you, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to lock the door or get it stuck, or I don't know how this happened. Sorry. It'll have to be after you.
Okay, did he leave his key in there? Like his key
It won't
still
go. It's the thing is jammed in there with a natural 1 on the lock picking. It's snapped in there.
He's gonna put out his hand for like the key.
It's not gonna fit in. He hands it to you.
Okay, and then he's gonna walk over. He's gonna try to finesse the key around the broken pick part, or try to finesse it out, whichever one seems to start working out.
Okay, you can give me. You could do another lock picking disadvantage, please.
Okay. So that is a 15 or 19.
Okay. Yeah, you, with your rogue-like skills, you're able to kind of unstick the lockpick that was in there in order to make room for the proper key. It does, with your own knowledge of what you had to do to pick the lock, you think it still might be damaged somewhat, so you're not 100% sure even like the normal key is going to be totally effective, but you got the lockpick out. The key is unjammed.
Okay, then he's going to try and unlock it. And did that need me to use the die then? To get it up to 19?
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, I didn't roll the die for the mind link earlier. It's for 5 hours. Okay, so now he puts the key in.
High or low, Beau?
High.
Key goes in, starts to turn it, and you feel it stick. Gets a little stuck, turn it. The only way it comes out is if you turn it back and pull it back out. The door knob appears to be broken. The Aarakocra is mortified. Head Celebrant, I will
It's
get
okay,
someone to fix
keep
this.
calm. I assume he has some kind of implement if he's a guard, like he has a staff or something in his hand. Some kind of weapon if he's guarding the door.
He doesn't appear to be guarding like he's going to attack anybody. He's
Doesn't have like a staff or anything like that.
I didn't picture him with one.
Well, I guess I picture him more sanctuary than what he is.
No, he's not like an officer.
Does he look strong?
I mean, he's tall, but he's a bird-like race. Okay. I don't know how much experience you have with a bird-like race and knowing how strong they are.
They do have talons. I think if you were to just deftly kick the knob, it should do the job. It's okay. You have my permission.
Give me a persuasion check.
Okay. See, this I mean. I rolled a 2 that time, so that's an 11 or 12.
He looks at the door, looks at you. Head Celebrant, I don't think I should do that. Just to disrupt anyone in here with such a noise.
Keep calm. It's
yes,
fine.
Yes, of course.
It's fine.
I would like to amend this by finding someone who could assist with the broken door, and I will be right back, and I will not keep you waiting.
Okay, as long as it is quickly, preferably under an hour.
Oh, certainly under an hour. I'm sure I can find someone. And he hurries off. Ste'yn, you once again see this Aarakocra go running past. He doesn't come into the atrium. You see him running past the archways, past the second one, just down the hall.
That's a really flighty bird.
Wow, I broke the doorknob. Well, actually, I broke the lock. The doorknob's actually on here. I think that bird is going to go get somebody.
Do you need help?
I don't think I can break it. Also, I'm Gror now.
Of course you are. Because why wouldn't you be? Well, does Galoro need any assistance?
Could be good. Maybe if you see that bird man running around.
He just ran by. Ste'yn's gonna turn to you. Do you think we should see if That Cocker needs any help? He's been going back and forth a lot.
He's, pardon, but he's pretty flighty.
He likes to wing it. Understood. I've got some friends like that.
Yeah, he'll be fine. What he really needs to do is get that energy out in the training area, but he really
Training
wants
area?
to be
I
as
forgot
calm.
about the training area. How about I mention that? Where is it?
Inside voices.
I am using my inside voice.
She doesn't have an inside voice.
Basement voices.
Oh, Beau's actually gonna mind link over to Viola. Viola, I just
Oh,
remembered. Yeah, he
Oh.
opened it with everybody that was there. I just remembered you have that strongness about you. Come over here and break this door.
Again.
Okay. I'm just gonna
We're
go find that training center. I'll talk to you later, and she'll just start walking down the hallway that she saw Beau walking towards.
Did you need me to take you? I can show you where it is.
I think
I
she'll
got
find
it. She'll call over her
It's-
shoulder.
And then he's gonna message
so sorry.
back over to Ste'yn,
Yeah.
I'm having
where
Viola
am I
break the
going?
door.
Oh, where am I going?
Just keep moving forward. And then
You
look for
turn right and
Gororo.
there's-
Look for Gororo. That's me.
Okay. Has
Ste'yn's
Viola
gonna look at you
actually
now.
ever met Gororo?
Yeah, he was in
Oh, I
the
think he was there at the fight.
He was.
the fight,
was
and
there
then
at the
he showed up during our
Yes, that's true.
meeting
Debrief.
thing. Debrief.
Our powwow with Nora.
Mhm. You turned right, and not far down the hall is another archway that you peek down, and you can see head celebrant Goro standing in front of this door along the. It's a little further down the hall, but there along that wall is the door, and head celebrant is standing there.
It's just gonna.
Viola will walk up and say, "Hello, Goro," and she'll like curtsy a little bit.
Could you please bust to this door?
Viola's gonna inspect the door and see if she can figure out if there's a specific. First off, if it's gonna blow up if she does anything to it, and second off, like where seems the most appropriate to do something to it. Like if she breaks the doorknob, will it be able to open? Should she try to like kick it open?
Okay, give me an investigation check.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay, you've broken enough things in your lifetime. You think there are various ways you could go about breaking this door. None of them are quiet ways, but they are ways that would be otherwise efficient in breaking this door.
So Viola will just break the door and kick it open.
Yup, give me an athletics check.
That is a 21.
You're just kicking it. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
The door itself is not like, it's not stone like the rest of the building. The door is wooden, just, you know, it's just locked. And you take your foot, you bring your leg up, rear it back, and just give it what you've got, and bust a nice, chunky, foot-sized hole in this door. It's
door didn't
near enough
open, though?
to... No, it's near enough to the locking mechanism and such, wherever it's kind of, you know, in place in the frame, that it's weakened, and despite the door knob itself being kind of janked up, enough of the foundation of it is affected that it only needs a good... You'd have much more leverage, leverage to kind of finish busting it out of its frame, essentially.
So she'll finish getting it open the rest of the way so that Goro can go through.
And he's
Mhm.
going to run down, well, he'll walk down the stairs.
In the atrium, you hear this loud slamming sound, to which Yonai is immediately on alert.
Ste'yn reaches
The
out
heck
and
was
gently grabs
that?
his arm. Actually, you see, we were in a bit of a fire this morning, and I don't think I got fully taken care of with that. Do you think you could help me?
I can try. I mean, Are you able to stand okay? And he's like
Oh.
looking back and forth between you and the
Ste'yn's
atrium.
going to start falling to the ground.
I feel
Viola
pain.
is just gonna turn and calmly walk away from the door she just broke.
I never want you guys to go to this temple ever again. Leave these people alone.
Viola didn't want to come!
Ste'yn, give me a deception check.
That was a 23 on deception.
23. I think these dice have to go into dice jail now. That's the second natural one that I rolled. He immediately catches you as you're falling. It's a very rom-com moment. He catches you to steady you, keep you on your feet. He's kind of looking at you, doing a quick bit of triage, just making sure you're okay. You should have said something earlier. Come on.
I thought I
Be
was
an idiot. Come on.
I tend to be an idiot
No
when
kidding.
it comes to my own health.
And he throws your arm over his shoulder to walk you towards those healing rooms, which is in the hall that Viola is now exiting.
Ste'yn will collapse.
Instead of taking you all the way over, he makes sure you're okay enough to sit up and then just sits you against the wall and then just kneels next to you. Well, if I can't even get you to a bed, what am I supposed to do with you, huh?
I don't know. I think it was all the smoke. There's a lot of smoke.
It happens at a fire, Ste'yn. Maybe stick to
Is
the
it-
graveyards.
Do you want me to join them?
Only in the way that you already have. He has you sit down and he says, don't go anywhere.
You're gonna
You're not
leave
going
me?
anywhere. I'm gonna see what potions we have available. I'm gonna see who else is around. Fortunately, I can.
But you make me feel safe.
Give me a persuasion roll.
That's a 22.
Uh-huh. He starts to get up, and as you say that, he turns. There's the smallest bit of blush on his cheeks, and he kind of coughs. Well, I can't leave you here if you're still choking on smoke, I guess.
I think I'll be okay. Just stay with me a moment.
Sure. Of course. I can't leave you sick on the ground. And he'll kind of slide down the wall, sit next to you. Viola comes out. Viola, you see Ste'yn's antics.
Ste'yn's gonna lean her head on his shoulder. She's trying to really sell it.
Yeah, she's
Viola's-
selling it.
Viola's not going back to where they are. She's just gonna keep walking past and then try to go look for the training area. Because that's what she said she was originally doing.
Give me an investigation check.
That's a 6.
Mm-hmm. And you are sure looking. Beau's going downstairs as Gawaro, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
On our next tale.
He's going to pretend like he cannot hear her because he is focused on going towards the door. Ste'yn, can you break this door?
You want me to break a door?
Yes.
She does not want to be in the blast radius.
You look into a large expanse that looks like a crypt.
Or did y'all actually achieve something?
I broke a door.
I got a set of keys.
Wait, you did what?
Ste'yn's looking at Tamar. They exaggerate.
Give me a deception check.
That is a 4.
Viola, you're the one that wanted to talk to Saz. We didn't come here for you to play with horses.
But you've been the ones asking all the questions about who's coming and who's going. I don't know what you want to know. It makes me wonder if some of these people aren't, what's the word?
Possessed?
Possessed.